your own social network where your users are going to interact in there. With Friend Connect, it's kind of low touch where you just connect with existing social networks. So I'd say it's a little bit of a different focus. I like Ning very much. It's a great solution.
Okay, that's a great answer. So it's fascinating just how many different options there are for companies to try to stay on top of all of this information.
Oh, this is a fascinating period. We're living a revolution that's really similar to when Mark created the browser in 1995, or was it 94? So it's really similar to the beginning of the web. You see people experimenting in all directions. The main trend that I see are there are tools to create a social network out of your on your website. And so you have the whole range from Ning, which is hosted and very easy to use, Friend Connect, which is more about connecting to existing networks. And then you have Sun, who created this open source project called Social Site that I can see used a lot in the enterprise, that allows you to implement an OpenSocial container, like a social site with the UI and all that inside of a company. It's open source, anybody can use it. Then you have the REST API that was just released that allows you to start pulling social graph data either for mobile application or for pulling the graph data on your existing website. And on top of that, you have discussions about federations and OpenID. OpenID is part of Friend Connect, which plays an important role in there. So there's lots of creativity, and especially in the application space. There are applications in all different kind of areas. Lots of them are more on the entertainment and fun today area, but LinkedIn is preparing to ship their OpenSocial implementation very soon, and you'll see a lot of professional, useful applications being created there. Plus, there's a whole area that hasn't even been started to develop, which is the enterprise space.
Sure.
And so Salesforce and Oracle were part of OpenSocial at launch, and they haven't shipped their solution completely yet. But when they do, you'll start seeing social application in the context of a CRM application in there, in the enterprise.
Very exciting.
I'm talking to more and more people who want to do some specific enterprise vertical social networks. One of them is for the transportation industry. So you can imagine it's going in very, very different directions.
Sure, I would imagine the governments around the world would probably be very interested in this. So there are two words that seem to mess up every really good idea. One of them is privacy and one of them is security.
Yeah. So on the privacy front, I think that's what slows down the evolution of social networking, because every big social network takes a really good care of the privacy of their users. So that's one of the prime focus of companies that are opening up this API. We need to make sure the privacy of our users is respected. And so OpenSocial in this regard is very open, which means you can implement whatever privacy policy your network chooses to implement on top of the API. So it really leaves the door very open to networks to be very cautious about it, and actually many of them were super cautious about it. I think we need some standards in the area of privacy. Right now, each network is doing their own settings, their own granularity,
sure.
And there's no interchange of privacy today. I can see that's an area that needs to be specified in the next few months, I would say. So privacy is a big one. Security in OpenSocial, actually, security was one of the reasons why, when we announced OpenSocial in November, it wasn't ready for users until April. And the reason for it was that we wanted to discuss the security requirements for these applications with all our partners, our 18 different social site partners, plus tons of developers who gave us some feedback about what they needed in there. And so the version of OpenSocial that shipped in January, that is in production right now with MySpace and High5 and Orkut, has a lot of security baked into the spec. So for example, when you're making requests out back to your server, the requests are signed using a standard called OAuth for signing the request. Also for the applications that run inside of the social site, these applications contain JavaScript. and sometimes it can be dangerous to run some foreign JavaScript inside of your page. So we use an iframe for that, and we have a whole open source project called Kaha that rewrites the JavaScript, and that's going to be evolved over the next year. So yeah, privacy and security are two of the aspects of OpenSocial that have been worked a lot.
So some of the potentially dangerous code is kind of containerized, sort of, and
exactly.
Just walled off and making
it's walled off. Caja means box in Spanish, and essentially you're drawing a box around this foreign code where it cannot get out of the box and do some nasty stuff with it. So it's really a very important piece of technology for OpenSocial, and it's open source, so any website can use it.
That's great. So and I know we're probably wrapping up, so if you could just leave the viewers with a final word on things that they can look forward to seeing from your group within Google, what would that be?
Yeah, essentially you'll be able to socialize with your friends a lot more in the next year, and in a very distributed way, which is you'll be able to do that on the social networks that you're using today, and you'll also be able to do that on many different websites who are going to adopt technologies like Friend Connect. So that would be one message. The second message is that one of the very important aspects of social software is around what we call the activity stream. The stream of things that you're doing all over the web and that you're sharing with your friends. And this is an area where all the big social networks are working on. There needs to be better algorithm for filtering and doing conversation around these. And one startup that's very interesting that's made by ex-Googlers is called FriendFeed, and they're doing some really nice things in this area, so I really recommend that you try it out.
Great. Now, what other websites would you like to leave the viewers just for them to learn more about? Obviously your blog, can you repeat your blog address?
Oh yeah, so my blog is wordpress.chanezon.com, which is my last name, and then you can go to the OpenSocial API blog or to opensocial.org, which is the foundation website where you can look at the specs. This is more for developers among you. And then, yeah, these would be the three websites where you can learn a lot more about OpenSocial.
Thanks. We've been speaking with Patrick Chanezon, who's with Google. My name is Rich Tehrani, and for more information about my company, TMC, go to tmcnet.com, or please visit my blog at tehrani.com. Patrick, thank you so much for being a guest.
Thanks very much, Rich.
This was great.
This was a good one.
Yeah, fantastic.